So the other day, I was hanging out with a bunch of female entrepreneurs and we started talking just about our goals for our business for the year, what strategies we all are going to be implementing this year, and something came up called email marketing. Now, if you know me personally, you know I'm a pretty quiet person and I don't necessarily speak up or speak over people. So when email marketing came up, I just kind of sat there really quietly, just observing really what these ladies had to say about it. Overall, most knew about email marketing. They knew of the general idea of what it's all about, and some of them were kind of using it for their business. Now, obviously, I'm very different, and I rely on email marketing a lot for my businesses and for my clients. The thing that really stood out to me, though, and honestly, this is exactly why I wanted to come on here today, is that these ladies, they understand what email marketing is, but they're not using it in the most effective way. That's when I started speaking up. Like I said, they understand what email marketing is. They know all about generating leads and really how important it is to keep in touch with these new leads. But how they were doing it was by doing something that I actually tell people to stop doing altogether. This is something I actually noticed with a lot of entrepreneurs out there. People seem to really just grasp the big idea of email marketing, but the little things are kind of tricky for them. People know the general strategies. They know the general goals with email marketing. They generally know what email marketing success looks like, but the issue is they either don't know how to implement it correctly, or simply they just don't care enough to learn something new that will actually work for their business. Now, a general view of these things, it can only take you so far. And eventually, you're going to get to this point where you really just can't go any farther than that. It's the same thing with email marketing. And actually, most of these entrepreneurs that were with me that day, that's where they're stuck at. They are doing the same thing over and over again, but they're not seeing results. So let me be the first one to tell you, if it's sounding like maybe I'm describing you right now, or maybe you are someone who is constantly sending out monthly newsletters to your email list, and maybe you're wondering why you're not getting any new clients, I need you to listen up. I need you to listen to me right now. Pause whatever you're doing and listen. You are wasting so much of your time. Going back 10 years ago, sure, newsletters, that was a great thing. But to be completely honest with you, in 7 years that I've been in business 100% online, leveraging email marketing, I've not sent a newsletter to my email list once. And I don't send them out for my clients. In fact, I actually turn people away who come to me asking for monthly newsletters because it's wrong. It's not going to work anymore. Seriously, if I'm blowing your mind right now and you're quite surprised by my aggression towards newsletters, take this as your sign to stop sending them. It will seriously blow your mind how things will change for you. Trust me, things will look very different when you start treating email marketing differently. This is what I want to really dive in with you today. In today's episode, what I want to go through is actually the top 7 emails that you should be sending to new leads. So new leads, meaning those who you've just connected with for the very first time. Maybe they've landed on your website and are looking for guidance, but at this point, they're still looking at all of their options. Or maybe they saw a post that you did on social media and they're requesting access to your freebie or your lead magnet. Whatever way they've gotten in contact with you, this is a completely brand new person who may not fully understand who you are or what you're all about. The goal at this stage is to use email marketing to build a relationship, to position you as an expert and start walking them closer to saying yes to working with you. So I do that through 7 very specific emails. So let me break down all 7 emails for you. The first emails you always want to send really is pretty simple. It's the delivery of the lead magnet, or simply saying hello and offering value. Since they've requested access to that freebie, they will be expecting an email from you. And because of that, you are going to get incredibly high open rates. So think of this first email as a delivery email. That's it. Simply send it off, wish them the best, and call it a day. You are not selling in this email or asking them to do anything except for consuming that freebie. Now, the second email is where we do 2 things, really. We follow up just as you normally would after you've initially connected with someone, But we also start introducing something called a value change. So I usually send this email 1 or 2 days after I sent that first email. But the entire goal of email number 2 is really simple. You ensure that they've gotten access to your freebie and you start to change a belief. What are the popular misconceptions that really just constantly come up in your industry? What are the things people believe about your service or your product that really aren't true? What do they need to realize before they are in a position to say yes to your offer? These are the questions that you want to explore with this email. The goal is not only to trigger a change in belief, it's also to show that you are someone worth listening to and that you have a really unique perspective. You are basically telling them something that they either never knew or showing them that you are worth listening to. Okay, so after showing them that you've got something worth saying and that reading your emails are actually worth it for them, the next job is to tell them who you are. So the third email's goal is to introduce that human touch and start showing off who you are as an expert. So essentially, you are telling them who you are, what you stand for, your experience, and most importantly, your goals with helping people just like them. So in a sales call or when you meet a prospect for the very first time in person and they ask what you do or even how you got to where you are today, what are they actually doing when they ask that question? They are trying to determine if you are the expert that they are looking for. That's what we do in email number 3. We are positioning you as that expert and making sure that people know exactly who you are and how you can help them. Because if they don't know that, they're never going to think of you. Now, I usually send this email 2 to 4 days after that second email, as it allows the first 2 emails to sit in their subconscious and they have the opportunity to really start thinking about what you've already taught them. Besides, you don't want to be sending people emails every single day. People seriously get annoyed with that. What you want to do is use your social media to get in front of them daily. Your emails, it's like that second touch point with your prospects. Plus, these 7 emails are designed in a way that it's truly walking them through a step-by-step process to becoming a paying client. You don't want to rush this process. So the 4th email is when things really start to get a little bit more interesting. Your 4th email should be about talking about the client's problem. That one big problem that you absolutely know that you can help them solve. Talk about that problem. Talk about how you can solve it. Talk about how difficult the situation can be and the ease you can bring to their lives by helping them solve that problem. Let them know that the pain that they are experiencing right now, whatever it is, it can be solved. But keep in mind here, you are not showing them exactly how to do it. You are essentially inspiring them and motivating them that it's possible that that problem can be solved. They just need to be working with you to solve it. Now, this email should come about 2 to 4 days after the previous email. So at this point, what we're doing is we're really balancing, making sure that we're emailing them enough that they don't forget about you, but also not emailing them too much that you're a disturbance. After talking to them about their pain points and making them realize why they need you, it's time to start answering their most asked questions. So email number 5 is all about answering questions and acting as if they emailed you, asking them directly to you. And trust me, if there's one thing that clients always have enough of, it's questions. You know when you're in that sales call and the prospect asks you specific questions that they need to know or they need to know the answers of before they ever say yes to working with you? Those are the questions that we want to answer right now, before they even have a chance to ask you them personally. The most important aspect of this email, though, is not just to copy and paste your frequently asked question list from your website. You don't want to do that. They will get bored. You want to act as if you were talking to that one prospect on the phone or in person and answering it just as you were going to if they asked you that face to face. You need to have a human connection with these emails, but also you want to remember to do it as quickly as possible. Seriously, no one wants to read an essay. So answer the questions, be sweet about it, and round up that email. Again, this email should come 2 to 4 days after the previous one. Now, the last 2 emails are the most important from a revenue standpoint. So let me be super clear here. You cannot achieve good results with these last 2 emails if you miss any of the above steps. I actually find it really remarkable that some people send these emails first. These are the emails that are all about your offer and doing your sales pitch. Now, don't get me wrong. People will, and sometimes they absolutely will get good results by pushing sales right off the bat. But typically, these people are saying yes because they already have built that know, like, and trust factor with you. The first 5 emails are designed for those who don't actually know you yet. They are designed to help take the selling out of your sales pitch. So email number 6 and 7 are all about pushing your offer. So let's start with email number 6. This one is where you invite them to join your program or take that next step in becoming a paying client. Maybe it's booking a free appointment with you so then you can help them along that journey or do something step by step. Or maybe it's purchasing your online program. Maybe it's signing up for your coaching program that's coming up. Whatever it is that they have to do next to actually become a paying client, that's what we want to focus on. In email 6, you tell them exactly what they should do next to solve that problem and begin working with you. This email I usually send 4 days after the previous emails. You don't want to come off pushy with this email, but you also want to be pushy enough that people actually take action. So with this email, you want to create curiosity. You want to relate it to why it will directly impact them and make sure to have some urgency in there. The last email you should send should really remind your prospects of your offer and give them a little push that they need to actually take that final action. The primary purpose of this email really is just to remind them that the offer still stands, and if they want it, they can get access to it. So this email can also convince people who are kind of on the fence and they're really undecided about the offer. This email should be sent 3 to 4 days after the first email extending your offer, so after email number 6. That way, they actually have enough time to think about it and come to a conclusion about the pros and cons of taking the offer. If you send these emails in the sequence that I've just outlined, you will definitely see an increase in your conversions, but you'll also see a drastic change in the quality of leads who are turning into paying clients. You won't need to chase people ever again because all of these emails, guess what? They send on automation. Yes, I know, our favorite word as busy entrepreneurs. The goal with this sequence is really to build a relationship, to position you as that expert, and to sell your offers without manually doing anything. That way, by the time people get to email number 6 and 7, they are already ready to say yes and move forward with you. This is one of my favorite ways to use email marketing, but it's also not the only way to use email marketing for your business. So what I did to make this easy for you is I actually put together my top 4 strategies for email marketing and put it into a guide. That way you can use it this year for your business. So what I'll do is I'll actually link that into the show notes for you. That way you can get access to it. You can download this free guide right off the bat and make sure that you're really taking advantage of email marketing. And no, you won't see me mention newsletters whatsoever. Again, if you're doing newsletters, stop it. But of course, I will always push you to actually implement what I'm teaching you here today. But I also want you to realize that you were able to customize any of this. The key really is to start paying attention to your customer journey, and then we automate it. That way you can build your pipeline of clients lining up to work with you, and you'll be able to focus on what you love doing most. Working with your clients, not really having to focus on sales and following up with prospects. My entire goal for you is to disconnect as much as possible with your business and leverage the automation tools that are literally sitting right in front of you. Now, if this excites you too, nerd out just like me, here's what I want you to do next. I want you to subscribe to this channel and ensure that you turn on your notifications. That way, every single week, you can implement something new with me. I'm seriously here to help guide you along your online marketing journey, but really, I just want to cheer you along the way. So let's design the lifestyle together that we love. But as always, friends, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Do not forget to download the email marketing guide that I put in the show notes for you. If you have any questions, you know where to find me, but I'll talk to you next week. Bye for now.